Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Camino Cafe. I am so delighted today to have a very special guest, Tanya Valdes. And I first became acquainted with Tanya back way in the beginning of the whole COVID lockdown. And she was on a call that I was on with the American Pilgrim Group. And I was like, I've got to meet this woman. Like, I just feel like she's living the dream that I'm dreaming about. And I think a lot of other fellow pilgrims are dreaming about as well. So Tanya, thank you so much for being willing to come on the Camino Cafe and talk to us.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So I wonder if for our viewers, if you could just kind of describe, I don't know if you can see out any of your windows right now where you are, but.
I could walk out to the patio if you want me to.
Oh, if you want to, fantastic.
Okay. Give me
the reason I'm saying this, I was just looking at your website and it's so gorgeous, your home and your location. And I just wanted viewers, because I know they're gonna be watching this and they won't have time to go look at your actual website right away.
Labor of love.
Well, her labor of love, and as you can start seeing the reflection.
I don't know with the sun out whether or not it's going to be.
Beautiful, beautiful. So there you are, viewers. This is how one pilgrim turned a dream into reality. So look where she's living, everyone.
Can you see okay?
Yes, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Okay.
Beautiful. So I wanted, wow, this is even better than I expected. So the best thing about this is that Tanya is willing to share this because she turned this dream of hers into a reality, and you can actually stay with her if you walk the coastal route, the Portuguese coastal route. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, I'm excited to share. Well, it's because it's a passion. It's easy to share your passion with others.
Yeah. So let's start with, you know, you're an American, and I listened to the Dan Mullins podcast. So I have a little bit of an advantage there of listening to that. And I highly recommend anyone's watching this to listen to that podcast because it's excellent. So Tanya is American, lived in Iowa. Mm-hmm. So take us back to what was life like in Iowa, and how did this girl from Iowa end up living in Spain?
Well, there was a little jog to Colorado after Iowa, and I had cancer, and found out about the Camino when I was reading a book while going through chemotherapy. I read the book The Pilgrimage by Paulo Coelho, and had never heard of the Camino before, and I read the book, and I thought, is there such a thing? I really thought it was all a spiritual talk on Paulo Coelho's part as a metaphysical book, and didn't really even realize that the Camino really existed. So after doing research and finding it really does exist, I walked the Camino in 2005 or 2006. I'm still trying to remember exactly what year it was, and fell in love. It was a great gratitude walk. But fell in love with the Camino because it ended up being such a spiritual experience. And that's when the seed was planted to someday it would be nice. I fell in love with, there was a cute little hospitalero in Gragnon. Her name is Marina. Maybe some of you have run across her. I don't know if she's still there or not, but someday I hope to go back and thank her. But that was when the seed was planted. And 10, 15, 20 years later, I became serious. I came back several times walking more Caminos, and I became more serious about having a place on the Camino Portuguese in 2014, 2015. So I walked the Camino Portuguese twice. Okay. I wanted to make sure this little village called Oia is a little fishing village, and it really tugged at my heartstrings and spoke to me. So I wanted to see the second time. I walked in 2018 again and wanted to make sure that this was still the place that I wanted to be. So that's
wow. Okay. So 4 or 5 Caminos under your belt.
Yes, correct. 4 and a half. 4
4.5. So you really did your research to make sure that this was really where you wanted to be.
Yeah. I thought it was really important to do lots of hours spent online looking at properties and making sure that this was the right decision. I would have loved to have been on the Invierno, but there just wasn't enough pilgrims to warrant it. I hope someday the Invierno does pick up because it's a beautiful, beautiful Camino.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did a lot of research, long hours of research.
I wanted to go back and say that I'm so happy for you that you overcame the cancer and are a survivor, and that's fantastic. So that's wonderful.
You have a tendency to change it changes your life. Camino and cancer changes your life. You don't want to put anything on the back burner anymore. You want to live life at its fullest, and you don't want to have any missed opportunities, and you don't want to have any regrets. So crazy
Yeah,
enough to do this.
you really went through two types of a pilgrimage, really, you know, going through the cancer situation and then right after going on the pilgrimages on the Camino. So I think you've gone through so many transformational journeys. It's so inspirational.
Yeah.
Hollow's book, I think, can be kind of really spiritual, kind of out there for people. You know, it's not the typical, most people see the way, right? And that's like a little more relatable.
Yeah.
Here to relate to, right? And so what was it about that book that you were like, yeah, I think I could do this?
Well, when I was reading the book, I didn't really realize that there was an actual Camino out there. I just thought he was just writing, you know, off the top of his head like he usually does.
Yes.
But then towards the end of the book, I think in his foreword or he talked about the Camino, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, it piqued my interest living in Colorado at the time. I love to hike and walk, and I love history, and I've always loved Spain. I have family roots tied to Oviedo, and I don't know, it just piqued my interest, and I thought, let's give it a shot. I mean, I love to travel. My passion has always been traveling as well as the Camino. So this was a different type of traveling, and the actual walking. You have such a connection with the people and the culture, and now I'm spoiled, and it's hard to travel without doing something like a Camino in other countries.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I have no desire to go someplace and lay around by the pool, right? I think after going on the Camino, it was such a deeper transformational vacation. It was more than a vacation, right? It was like this. Everything else will pale in comparison, I think, going down the road.
True.
So I in preparing to talk with you, I was looking at your website, and I just want to say it is a beautiful website. On top of the fact that you live in a beautiful location, the actual website's so lovely. And I was struck. I said, okay, what did she do before this? Because it seems like you must have had some kind of special job in the US. Like, what was your career and what did you do up to?
I was in retail management, marketing. I did do some classes with what is it? And I'm having, now that I live in Spain, I'm losing my English, just so you know. So I have what the classes that you take where you design stuff and you put it in the window so you get people to come in the door.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm drawing a blank right now what that was called.
Retail merchandising, maybe?
Retail merchandising, but there was an actual class that I took that was actually my favorite, where you put stuff together in the window. So it's a creative venture, but I need to give credit where credit is due, because Andrea is the one that actually built the website. But we talked a lot. So I felt like she was, and she's also a pilgrim. So
who is Andrea? So is that a friend of yours in Spain, or?
So we connected through her husband, who's also a pilgrim, Bernard, and he's Irish. She's Canadian, but they're living in London. And she originally built websites. Well, she told me about one that she built for Harley Davidson in London. So I hope I'm giving you the right information. But she and I talked a little bit. I felt like she was on the same page as I. We both had to have similar ideas. But yeah, she's done a fabulous job. She's wonderful. I highly recommend her. So I can't take full credit, but she's been fabulous. Yeah, Andrea Duffy. Well, I'm not sure of her last name because it's very hard to, the spelling is difficult. So I hope it's Duffy.
You know what? After we finish the interview, we'll get her name and we'll throw it on the comments. So that way, if anyone wants to look at her work or hire her down the road, we can give her a nice little plug.
I'm sure she would love to hear from people. I think, she walked the Camino too. She's also a pilgrim, so I'm sure she would love to help others out as well. Yeah.
Exactly. Anything we can do to help fellow pilgrims, I'm all
Yeah.
for that. So
Yeah.
it's very clever, very creative. I love just the whole positioning of being able to look out your window. It's just wonderful. So everybody check that out. I will have that in the comments.
He did a
So
great job.
yeah, it's wonderful. So let's go back. So you go on your first pilgrimage after surviving cancer, and this is a walk of gratitude. You then fall in love with the Camino. You go back several times. You do your research. And how many homes would you say that you look? How many cities and how many homes did you look at before you said, "Oya's the one"?
Oh, Gonzalo, bless his heart. Gonzalo from Santiago, who was a taxi driver at the time.
All right.
I had already seen some before I even met before I met Gonzalo, but I'm thinking Gonzalo took me to at least 20, maybe more. It feels like,
goodness.
yeah. I mean, he has been a true Camino angel. So I want to say I probably saw 5 or 10 before, but I don't know if 20 is even enough. He might have shown me more, but I had it was a difficult time trying to get people to respond to my emails from overseas. They just wouldn't follow through, or maybe it was my bad Spanish or English, or maybe they just didn't take me seriously because I was in America, but I definitely had much better luck with bringing Gonzalo on board. I mean, Gonzalo and I got connected through Brendan Bolton.
Okay.
So that's, I mean.
Is he now a realtor, or he just kind of just did this to help you out?
Brendan or Gonzalo?
Gonzalo.
Gonzalo he has a bar. He was a taxi driver at the time, but now he has a bar. He transitioned to a bar owner, which is Conga 7, which is right next to the name of the bar is Conga 7. That's also the name of the address of his bar. It's close to the Santiago Cathedral. So it's within walking distance. So I highly recommend you going in and saying hi to Gonzalo, who's a true Camino angel.
Oh, I can't wait. Wonderful.
Yeah, he's adorable. Sweetheart. And his English is perfect. He spent some time in the United States. Yeah.
All right. Well, if I can find a website or a Facebook page for him, I'll also put that in the comments. So when you started looking, were you like, did you have this vision in mind of what you really wanted? Is that what took so long to find a place? Or was it that, I mean, I've heard that it's very difficult to buy things in Spain.
There was another Camino in that. Between the visa, doing the visa paperwork and then doing the process of buying the house, it was like the visa paperwork prepared me for the difficulty for the house and then the renovations. It's been a journey.
When you look at what you've gone through in the last several years, what would you say when you look at your actual Caminos that you walked? What would you say was your low point and your high point?
Now we're talking about Caminos and specifically not the house process.
Now we'll do that one next. So now we're going to talk about your walk. So when you were out on pilgrimage, when you look back, can you say, wow, that was my lowest point on one of my walks?
Yeah, it was, I was walking, I started out walking by myself, but then I met up with a nice lady from the United States by the name of Sylvia. We had a really long stretch one day. I think it was like 34 kilometers, and we were towards the end of the stretch. We were in a bar. And I don't think there was like it was on the Camino Portuguese. I don't remember the name of the town and I don't remember the name of the bar, but the bartender or the owner, who was the bartender, he knew that I was so frustrated. He read a poem in Portuguese or in Spanish, I can't remember. And then Sylvia translated it for me. The fact that he knew how low I was about ready to give up that day. I just said, I don't know why, I just had it. And I haven't had that many times on the Camino that it's been like that. The fact that he took the time to read that beautiful poem, and I can't tell you the words right now,
Yeah.
because he really cared about the pilgrims and really cared enough to share that poem. It was a special pilgrim's poem. It gave me the strength, and I got to rest a little bit, but it gave me the strength to go to soldier on the final. I don't know how many kilometers we had left, but it was a difficult day. At that time, there weren't that many places to stay on the Camino Portuguese in 2015. So it was a really long stretch that day.
Yeah. Were you just feeling tired, or, what,
Yeah,
what do you
I don't know.
feeling
I
at
was
that point?
emotional. I think I get emotional when I get tired,
Okay.
and the cobblestones kill me. They're hard on your back. I don't know if you've walked the Camino Portuguese yet, but
No, I'm looking forward to it. My dad and I are coming.
Beautiful.
It's over.
I have to say the bad things. I thought it was more difficult, the Camino Portuguese, because of the cobblestones.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Make sure that
So
you
what,
have
what,
big souls.
so what do you think? So that bar owner at that point is he's looking at you, he's seeing you get emotional, and he just all of a sudden says, "Hey, I want to read this poem to you." What was that moment like? I mean, I would imagine tears, or
Yeah, because the people are so lovely that they care enough to want to nurture you, and he knew that I was ready to give up. I just had it. Yeah, tears. Tears, but they were happy tears in the same token that they were emotional tears. It was kind of like walking into Santiago the first time, emotional tears and happy tears at the same time.
yeah, right? You have so many emotions, it's so powerful all the way around.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So now let's flip to La Cala, and you've picked the place in Oya, which is beautiful, and now you've got La Cala, and you're getting ready to start it. So let's go back before our pre-pandemic. You're getting ready to remodel it.
Yeah, the renovation.
Did you have a low moment where you said, Tanya, what have you done? Go back to the US. This is crazy.
2 or 3 or more.
So tell us what that was like. And
you know what it usually requires a bottle of wine or 2.
What kind? Which one are you choosing for that? Is it
oh, it's definitely a Spanish red. Oh, for sure. It's and it's so cheap here. That's the thing. I'm like thinking, I don't think I've ever drank so much wine in my life since the COVID. And it's a good thing I'm in Spain, because I couldn't afford to drink all the wine that I drank in the United States.
That is great. So pre-COVID, tell us about one of those times where you just said that's it. This was not a good idea. I'm done. I got to go back home. Or was there a moment like that? Did you just always feel like?
Yeah. No. There's been several. There's been several. I want to say the most memorable is probably when Susie and Furman came in to rescue me. I just, between the bureaucracy and the lack of communication because of the renovations and the contractor, and it seems like it was one thing after another, and I kept thinking, okay, next week, day by day, just like Camino, take it step by step, day by day, trying not to get overwhelmed. But I mean, it just seemed like it was one thing after another. And I finally said, I was at the point where, it was a breaking point, and I just said, okay, let me call Susie. And hopefully then maybe I just wanted somebody who had gone through what I had gone through, like a support person. And she has been fabulous. And they showed up. As soon as the borders opened up, then she and Furman came. And I tell you what, I have to focus and remember that the reason I'm doing this is for the pilgrims. It's not about me, it's about the pilgrims. So, but they're so lovely, the both of them. And they came and spent the weekend together, and it was just have to focus. And I luckily I picked a good place to live because I have the mountains and I have the ocean, so I can go outside and commune with nature, and like walking a Camino, and remind myself the reason I'm doing this. I have to refocus.
I love that. You've got your anchor there, right? Your anchor of, wow, you have this huge intention of helping pilgrims. And when you look back and you remember that, that gives you the strength to do it. And like you said, that connection to nature, which is, I think, the two things that we really feel when we're actually out walking the pilgrimage. Now, Susie owns her own, right? Susie and Firma, you're talking about what is the name of her albergue?
Hers is Casa Susie, and she's in Trabadillo,
Okay.
on the Camino Frances.
Yeah. All right. I know I follow her on Instagram, and
Yeah.
she always has really nice posts. So what was it that Susie and Firma came to say? You know, like, was there something that she reminded you of else other than what we were just talking about? Or did she say something that you were just like, yes, that's what I needed to hear?
Yeah, I think she had some moments where she said that she was ready to give up too. I don't know if she had as many, but I know that she's going through a lot right now too, with the COVID, and they have a roof situation that they're trying to deal with. So just the fact that she had been through it, and she came with so much love. She brought flowers from her garden. She brought homemade jam. She brought, was just like her hand. Oh, I think a bottle of red, a bottle of white. It just seemed like it was just like loads. And it wasn't about the gifts. It was just about the love. Susie is just about love.
Mm.
And
Wow.
it's support and love. And that's what I needed.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I remember when I first met you, that was, gosh, probably back in March, April of when COVID was first coming about. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my goodness, she's so close to opening, and what of all years, you know? And I really felt for you, because I couldn't imagine. Here you were, you know, at the tail end of remodeling, you're getting excited to open, and then we're all So I can't imagine how difficult that's been. And I'm so happy for you that things are starting to turn around, and that hopefully people will see this interview and be like, hey, I want to go stay with her. So tell me a little bit about, with your experience of being a 5-time pilgrim, what is it that you hope to bring to the inn that you know pilgrims want? You're like, why should they come stay with you?
I wanted to open up my home. I wanted to feel like home to people. I got sick. One of my walks, I got super sick because there was no dryers. I was walking with wet clothes because, you know, it's Galicia, and you hang your clothes up on the hanger hoping that they'll dry the next morning, but with the 100% humidity, they don't dry. So you get to walk with those clothes wet the next morning, and it's cold. I think I got walking pneumonia. And I just wanted to be home and in my bed and curled up because I was sick. You know, when you get sick, you just want to be in your own bed. So the idea is a relaxing, calming place by the ocean. Also, I love having the monastery nearby, so there's a little history. Just about opening up my home to people, and whatever they want, they're allowed to stay as long as they want. If they want to take 2 or 3 days or a week, I'm happy to do whatever. We can walk in the woods, we can walk in the mountain, whatever they take, go see a monastery tour. Just opening up my home to pilgrims, just to make them feel welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to want to stay for a while when they see it, because it's beautiful.
I love that. The longer, the better.
I feel like, oh, I bet you do. Have you had anyone stay recently? Like, what's been going on most recently?
Last time I had a group of 8 pilgrims, rogue pilgrims, because they weren't supposed to be walking, show up at my doorstep and asked if I could stay, and I'm like, sure. You're not going to turn pilgrims away. Right. So, and some of them decided to stay an extra day or 2. So it was nice to have that company, especially because it was around Thanksgiving. But that's it was perfect timing. Yeah. So that was the last time I had pilgrims.
Okay. And now the Portuguese route, is that completely closed right now? Can people walk?
You could walk, theoretically, you could walk in Galicia. You could
Okay.
not, you cannot walk from Portugal because the border is closed from Portugal to Spain.
Okay.
So theoretically, you could walk right now because they just opened up the borders from Aguarda to Santiago because it's all in
Okay.
Galicia.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about, I knew there was something about your energy that I always loved. And then when I went on your website, you have kind of like a tagline that says, "What is your soul saying?"
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about how that came about, because I feel that energy from you, that there's something very soulful about you, about your journey, and about La Cala.
Wow. A loaded question, Lee. But I appreciate it. Wow. I think the cancer in the Camino, go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead.
It instills living in the moment and taking life by the horns and just going for it. But peaceful and I mean, for me, I'm trying to have more peace and tranquility in my life.
Yeah.
The idea being that living in Spain would hopefully help me realize that capability to just live in the moment and experience as much as you can, but be tranquil and enjoy. Difficult to put into words, Lee. I also had a grandfather that passed away from cancer, and he's always been like a lighthouse to me. He had a lantern as our symbol of our family. So I feel like that my family has helped me tremendously and supported me in this. But I also feel like I don't know if you've had this experience, but walking the Camino, previous generations, I feel like they talk to me. They come and talk to me. I don't know, you might think I'm out there, but it seems like there's signs out there that it's kind of like the yellow arrows. If the yellow arrow is there, you should live on that and take that moment.
Oh, I so identify with you, because I think my grandfather, who's passed, often is someone that Rebecca Scott has said on a call that I've been on, that when we walk, we can invite others to walk with us in spirit, right? And so, I'll invite St. James, or I'll invite my grandfather, or I'll invite someone. So that's one of the people that I will invite, is my grandfather, and listen to his wisdom. I love the lighthouse. Oh my, or the lantern. It's so moving. That is beautiful. When you realize that your soul was saying, "We're going to leave the US. Your dream is to live in Spain." That's not an everyday thing that happens, right? So it sounds like your family was supportive, but what did your family, and there's your cat. Your cat's made the appearance. I love it. We'll have to get the cat and the dog on our video before we end. Well, there's nothing more that I love as a pilgrim. It was to get somewhere and be able to pet somebody's dog, because I missed my own dog so much, right? When you said to your family, "Hey, I'm packing up, and this is what my soul wants," what were the reactions? And can you share with us the kind of support you got, or maybe the kind of questions that you really had to overcome? Because I know sometimes people can put questions in your mind that you're like, "Oh, wow, maybe they're right." So how did you move past that?
Sometimes I have selective listening.
Love it.
Now, I have to say that my mom has been super supportive of my dream. Give a lot of kudos to her. Right. She also loves traveling. So my kids were quiet. They didn't say no, but they were quiet. So I feel like they know that this was my dream and my passion, though. So I think they felt like they couldn't say anything or step in the way. It is.
Are they all in Iowa?
One lives in Colorado, in Denver area, and then the other one
Okay.
lives in Iowa, and
Okay.
and the grandchildren too. And that's, for me, that's the hardest part. Not that I don't love my kids, because I do, but I
Exactly.
do Zoom a lot. We do Facebook and Zoom, and so I
Good.
get to see them. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, let's do a shout out. What's mom's name?
Sonia, Sonia
Sonia.
Vindasor. She's in Australia. She's been in Australia visiting my sister, and she's been stuck there because of COVID. But I think it's actually a good thing that she's stuck there, because I think the COVID there is doing a lot better than it was like in the United States. So
Yeah. You had to be
yeah,
stuck somewhere. That's a good
yeah,
place.
it's
And
hard
then
to be stuck in Australia. Yeah.
your kids, what are your kids' names?
Ryan and Corey. Ryan's the oldest, and Corey is my youngest. He's the one that lives in Colorado, and
All
Ryan lives in
right.
Florida. Yeah.
Shout out to, are the grandbabies, are they old enough to watch a video? Would they know if they heard their name?
Maybe Maverick and Indy in Colorado, and Rihanna and Rose in Iowa. They're twins. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful names, beautiful names. All right. So
Yeah.
it sounds, I can imagine the kids being quiet. I have a 20-year-old, soon to be 21. And I think if I made this announcement, there would be support, but that's a lot to take, right?
Yeah.
So I liked your idea about the selective listening, right? So when your soul's talking, you got to kind of be selective, right?
I know.
So
Yeah.
go ahead.
I feel like sometimes I put blinders on, and once I get set on a certain thing, that it has to happen. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit more stubborn in my old age.
Aren't we all? We kind of need to, right?
Yeah, and be a little crazy too.
Yeah. But one of the things I really noticed about you is you just laugh about life's problems. Were you always like this? Were you like this growing up, where you were just able to kind of look at things and take things kind of a little more lightly?
I wouldn't say that I take them more lightly. It's just my coping mechanism, I think, is that if I get nervous, I laugh. If I'm thinking, I mean, I do laugh a lot, but I think it's more of a coping mechanism.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I do like to laugh. I mean, especially when you have all this stress going on right now, I think it's really important to laugh. Today,
Yes.
having a glass of wine with my friends, and they made me laugh, and I was like, I need to do more of this, because
Yes.
things are so serious right now, and we need to laugh more.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I thought when I listened to your podcast with Dan Mullins, it really felt good to hear you laugh.
Oh,
Right,
good.
because I think so many interviews that have been done over this past year, ones I've done and others have done, is, we've all kind of had this kind of dark cloud over us. We're all pilgrims. We want to be on this journey. We want to be back in Spain or whatever. And sometimes you can kind of feel that heaviness. And I felt like after I listened to that interview, I was like, wow, I just felt uplifted just listening to you and knowing that, everything's going to work out.
Thank you, Lee, for saying that, because I'm kind of self-conscious about my laugh. So
Really?
I had my college teachers say, have you been drinking before you came to class? No, this is just me.
I think sometimes we are, we're kind of told to be quiet and be serious, and be, that being serious means you're a hard worker, but if you're, laughing doesn't kind of fit that mold sometimes. At least I feel like in the US. And I feel like bringing some lightness to life is what we all need right now. And
The
that's
lantern.
what.
The lantern.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Right.
Exactly. Yes.
It's exactly it, right? It's like you have two choices in life, right? You can either lift people up,
right,
or we can bring them all down with our energy. And, I've had those moments where I've done that, right? And I hang up the call and I think, well, I just ruined their day too, right? When I could have made the choice to be the lantern.
Yeah.
And I think you so vividly show how important it is to be the lantern. And I can't imagine a person that's watching this that won't want to stay with you, because I can't imagine showing up at your doorstep after a long walk and knowing that I'm going to have somebody that's going to lift me up It's just beautiful. So thank you for being a light to others. That's what we all need right now.
That's really
And
special to me. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
and you're welcome. I'm hoping you're getting those lights from the people that you're living near. And I know that as pilgrims start staying with you, as restrictions lift, that you're also going to be getting that light of people coming in and talking. And that's going to be so beautiful, so wonderful.
I'm going to be hunting down those pilgrims. Watch out.
Well, my dad and I will be two of the pilgrims that will be coming as soon as he and I can go on the Portuguese. That's our plan. So I hope that we can stay with you. And I so appreciate your time. I think I could talk to you forever, but I feel selfish in keeping you on longer. Thank you so much. You're always welcome back to the Camino Cafe anytime that you want to talk about anything. And I just want viewers to know that I will have your website and your Facebook page and everything as easy links so they can get to you and find you when they're ready to make reservations.
Awesome.
And I guess we could just end this with, if somebody is going through something, I think as we go through life, there's always things that are going to happen to us. And I just wonder if you could maybe offer to someone who's sitting at home watching this and that they're going through some kind of life challenge, why would you encourage them to go on the Camino? Why should they do it?
My biggest lesson learned or reminded or enforced, I don't know what the word to strengthen. This lesson before, but you don't really actually use it. So you don't remember things, and you can handle anything if you break it down day by day, step by step. Try not. I think a lot of people look at the overwhelming picture, and I think it's so much easier, especially in difficult times or challenging times. Just break it down day by day, step by step.
Yeah.
I think if you can do that, and I do think that faith helps too. I have a little chapel nearby that I have gone to a lot lately. Even if I just go in there just to be quiet, it's just good for the soul. Good for the soul.
So take it step by step, and have faith. Yeah, that's so true, right? Because when you're looking at a pilgrimage and you're looking at, you could look at, you've got a day's walk of, say, 20 miles or whatever. And if you look at that daily total, that seems just overwhelming. But as Father Kevin Codd always talks about, kind of just going from point to point. And instead, if you looked at it as not the full 20 miles, but maybe getting from this little village to the next little village, or he's even, one call I was on with him, he said, just thinking about point to point of from one pilgrim to the next pilgrim that you're going to talk about. And then before you know it, you're there.
Exactly. Just get what you can done. I just saw it not too long ago. I don't know if it was a Buddhist saying, just do what you can do. And before you know it, you're done, or you're getting there. You're at least moving forward. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I just want to say congratulations, because it's so beautiful to see someone's dream come true.
Thank you. But I also want to say that part of the name of La Cala is also, it's a pilgrim's inn. And that to me means it's everybody's inn. It's the pilgrim's inn. So
I love that. I love that. And
welcome.
It's beautiful. It's just beautiful to see someone who you worked hard for it and your dream has come true. And it's such a beautiful dream. And the fact that it's, like you're saying, it's not something that you just created for just you to hold on to and have. This is something you are sharing and giving back to the pilgrim community. And that is a gift, because you could have just gone there and just lived in this beautiful home. You could have kept it to yourself. But I think sharing it just makes the dream even more beautiful. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to come see you there and meet you actually in person.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, thank you. Well, buen camino. And thank you so much for doing this interview. I'm going to stop our recording, but you and I'll stay on for a second.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for watching our video. And I hope that you will check out La Cala when you are on the coastal route. I know you're going to. I don't even have to tell you that. I know you will.